Okay, so escape rooms in real life, pretty cool idea. Love the puzzles, love the panic, but what if I told you there's a Pokemon escape room? Yeah, it turns out all those random facts that have been rotting my brain since 2009 finally came in clutch. This was my moment. This is how I completed my first ever Pokemon escape room. Oh, and all the footage is from my Twitch stream, so if you want to see it live, links in the description. I booted up the ROM, named myself Dimitri, and immediately checked my party to see what kind of cursed Pokemon I was starting with. I got a Makuhita. Ooh. And moves. Bullet Punch, Vital Throw, Raise Critical Ratio. After wandering around and talking to the few NPCs just loitering around the Poké Center, I had an epiphany. The PC. I had to get there, so I booted that clank up. Clank, why am I calling it a clank? What is wrong with me? Box 1 was empty, but I had a sneaking suspicion there would be something else hidden. I'm just gonna make sure that they're not hiding anything here because that would be really Oh my god! I was right! And he's got a rare candy? I also ended up checking for hidden items in the PC and ended up finding a potion and the TM for dig. Now, after checking out our Yamask, I've realized that he came with a rare candy. He also came equipped with a pretty sick moveset consisting of Toxic Spikes, Trick Room, Hex, and Protect. So, with our ghostly little buddy by our side, we strutted out the Pokemon city ready to take on the world. Outside, yeah, there wasn't much. Just one lonely trainer blocking the path and what looked to be a smashable rock. Seeing as our only way out was to defeat this trainer, I opted to see what we were dealing with first. Let me see what's going on first. Because now that I have this Yamask, I haven't even looked at this yet, so I don't even know what it could be. Oh my god, level 40 Magnium? I don't even know how to say that Pokemon name. I wonder if it only knows Solar Beam. And I think Meganium is a pure grass type, if I remember correctly. My first plan was to try and PP stall. You know, the classic, maybe I can outlast this thing and watch it kill itself with struggle. But it turns out Solar Beam has way more PP than I thought it did, so that plan instantly died. Seeing as it seemed impossible right now, I went to explore the rock. I approached it thinking maybe it was hiding an item or something useful like that, but no, it was just an infinite Geodude farm. Seeing as it was free XP, I murdered a bunch of these guys and my Makuhita leveled up. On the level up, turns out Makuhita learns Whirlwind at level 16. Who knew? Not me. I just killed some Geodudes. So with nothing else around and my Yamask somehow not being capable of learning any new moves, this seemed like it would be all the tools we needed for success. How to use it? I'm not sure yet. And I Whirlwind. So I Whirlwind, right? Because now I'm going to bring in whatever other Pokemon he has and Toxic them. So you get brought out. Another level 40. I wonder what moves you have. Let me Whirlwind again. Use Misty Explosion. Okay. Okay, so I've hit another brick wall. So it turns out that this trainer has a second Pokemon that I'm gonna have to deal with. But after bashing my head against the wall, metaphorically of course, most of the time, I figured that I just needed to find the right order and right combo of moves to use. So I came up with this plan. Because Solar Beam was a 2-turn attack, I could use Protect on Yamask to get free moves. With this, my plan was simple. Step 1, lay down Toxic Spikes. Step 2, Protect. Step 3, Trick Room. Step 4, Protect. Step 5, we swap into my absolute unit, Makuhita. Now with Trick Room up, my Makuhita is way faster than Meganium. This meant that I could use Dig to avoid the second turn of Solar Beam, which left Meganium open to being Whirlwind. Now, with Clefable in, he would explode and my Yamask could come in with the power of both Protect to never be hit by Solar Beam and Hex to deal massive damage to the now poisoned Meganium. That's how you do it! That's how you fucking do it! That's what I'm talking about! That's what I'm talking about! First one done. That's exactly what I came here to do. I came here to win, people. I came here to win. With our first trainer defeated, we could finally advance to the next area. This zone had 2 things, a double battle and an apple tree that told me I needed more Pokemon to get an apple. Cool, okay. Priorities though, double battle first. But Nurse Joy decided to go on sick leave and was not going to be healing any of my Pokemon, which meant my poor Makuhita was still very dead. And the double battle was impossible. So I'm sitting there thinking, how am I supposed to revive my guy without a Pokemon Center? And then it hit me. Remember that rare candy that Yamask was holding earlier? Turns out using it on Makuhito actually just gave him enough HP to come back to life. Somehow revive from the dead. Then I used the potion I had as well, and boom, we were back in business. So we marched straight into that double battle, and yeah, it was pretty brain dead easy, just a level 19 Wooper and Zigzagoon. After defeating the 2 kids, they offered to trade me their Wooper in exchange for my Makuhita. So I said goodbye to my little fighter and made the trade for Wooper. Oh, and apparently that was enough motivation for Nurse Joy to miraculously instantly recover from her illness. I don't know. Game design, I guess. This little Wooper was game changer because it had Surf. This meant I could finally cross the water and reach a whole new area. On the other side, there was a lot going on. There was a patch of grass, a roaming Curlia which was hungry, an Eviolite just lying on the floor, and another double battle because of course there was a double battle. Oh, also in the previous area, I ran into a bump that just happened to be a Master Ball laying on the floor. Crazy, right? I had to decide what to do with this Master Ball. Beside the patch of grass, there was a sign that showed off 2 Pokemon inside, a Girafarig and a Scyther. At first I was like, easy choice, Scyther's cracked, give him the Eviolite, boom, unstoppable. But then I noticed something. Girafarig had skill swap, and honestly, this felt way more useful, so I caught the Giraffe. So now, with another Pokemon on the team, I went back to the weird apple tree to see what would happen now. And apparently, because I had only 1 extra Pokemon, I was worthy of picking an apple. Sure, why not? I gave the apple to the Hungry Curlia, and boom, it joined my team. Now we have 4 Pokemon. After checking my party, I realized that both the new recruits were holding items. Curlia had an Everstone, and Girafarig came with the TM for Thief. I figured this had to be a sign. If the game gave my Girafarig the move Thief and the TM for the move Thief, clearly it wanted me to steal something. So of course I went back to the grass and tried to rob a wild Scyther. What are we doing? What are you gonna give me? What do I take from you? Curlia stole the wired Scyther's HM01. What is that, cut? Unfortunately, no one on my team could learn Cut, so it was out of the question for now, which honestly made things a little bit easier. After trying out the double battle, I realized that not only does Girafarig have Sap Sipper, an ability that effectively makes him immune to grass type attacks, these 2 Pokemon I was fighting only knew grass and electric type moves. They only know grass and electric type moves. Wooper is immune to grass or electric type moves through his piping, and Girafarig is immune to grass type moves with its ability. Girafarig also knows the move Skill Swap, which swaps the ability. Yeah, if I can give Wooper the Sap Sipper ability, then theoretically Wooper just sweeps and takes everything out. With this new knowledge, I could potentially turn this little Wooper into a god. I had the first part of this puzzle solved. For the first step of the puzzle, all I needed to do was set up a trick room so that Wooper doesn't get insta-killed. But my Yamask is built like a wet tissue and couldn't take a single attack. Luckily, I found an Eviolite on the floor and this was the perfect item to give it. This gave the Yamask enough of a defense boost to allow him to tank an attack and set up trick room. And now, with trick room active, my Girafarig could pull off the Seal Swap on Wooper before the enemy Pokemon even had time to blink. Just like that, I had created an invincible Wooper, or so I thought. I kept trying to stack Sap Sipper boosts with Tail Whip to lower the defenses, but even with all that setup, Wooper was basically slapping them with a wet noodle, and then it got worse. Once the AI realized it couldn't really hurt me, it decided, alright, it's just time to cheat, and swapped into a shiny level 100 Venusaur. This thing was the only Pokemon that could actually kill my Wooper. I was stuck for ages trying to figure out what to do. I even evolved Wooper into Quagsire, thinking that the extra stats would save me. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Still got clapped. And after countless attempts, I finally noticed something that I'd been skipping over completely before. At the start of the battle, the trainer says that their strange Pokemon looks like it swallowed a special stone. And then it hit me. I'm an idiot. Well, to be honest, that's not what hit me. I already knew that. But this was the clue the entire time. With this new knowledge, I figured out what I must do. I did all the usual setup, but this time, when that cursed shiny Venusaur came out, instead of trying to beat it, I decided to steal from it. I used Thief to snag whatever that special stone was right out of his pockets. Pockets? Why did I write pockets? Not wearing any clothes. Anyway, now that I had a Dawnstone, I evolved my Curlia into a Gallade. I also ended up teaching Gallade Cut too, but even with this new knowledge, I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do to get past these 2 trainers. I grinded that battle over and over again, and no matter what strategy I tried, I was making 0 progress. Eventually, after thinking back on the beginning of the puzzle, I remembered that I couldn't do a double battle if I only had 1 Pokemon. So I put all my Pokemon except Quagsire in the box and finally got past the 2 trainers, only to be met with a dead end. Here, there was a cuttable tree, but of course my Quagsire couldn't learn Cut, and since the only way past the trainers was to have 1 Pokemon, I was stuck again. Now you'd think, oh, easy fix, just bring the Gallade, right? How about that? Well, Gallade can cut the tree down, only Quagsire knows Surf to actually get across the water. So once again I was trapped. After staring at my screen for an embarrassing amount of time, I finally had a galaxy brain moment. Here's the plan. I'd only bring Gallade and Quagsire in my party. I'd surf across the water, then use the wild Pokemon in the grass to knock out one of my own Pokemon. With Quagsire fainted, I could strut right past the double battle trainers like it was nothing, cut down the tree, and boom, puzzle completed. My first ever Pokemon Escape Room finished. It only took, about 2.5 hours. I don't know if that's any good, but it was fun.